Hello everyone, today we are in the dank environment of Wetland Aspect. If there's anything I hate, it's wet socks in wet boots. My prefrontal cortex has taken an obsessive liking to the roguelike concept. I instinctively love any game that promises me the same piss in a different pair of pants after I game over. I don't know if this development is positive or negative, but it's definitely one of them. And with that being said, when my friends invited me to play a roguelike third-person shooter game that starts with hippity hoppity, there's a beetle on my property, and ends with there was a risk of rain in my pants, too. On my first run, I played Commando on Drizzle. My run went spectacular. I was fast, I was lethal, I had no build, and I even hit a clip on Mithrix as I was soloing him while my friend spectated in awe. But being the humble king that I am, I wouldn't boast about an easy win. Because it took me about 2 minutes to figure out how to leave Mithrix Arena, thus I failed to prepare the ship in time and I got blown to smithereens. So I just stick to calling the run easy. Be that as it may, I am convinced that even a Victorian child could beat the game on Drizzle. And then it took me 40 fucking hours to beat the game on Rainstorm once, and 43.4 hours to beat the game on Monsoon. Granted, in duos, and I died twice. My friend cleared the entire commencement stage by himself, but you know... But Monsoon is not even the hardest difficulty. This game has its own budget version of Dante's Inferno. They call it Eclipse. Eclipse is an 8-dimensional challenge where clearing one level grants you access to the next. Every level stacks a unique negative modifier to your run, and the progress is tracked per character. If you like in-game achievements more than your cardiovascular health, then this is definitely something for you. If Monsoon feels like eating a Carolina Reaper, then Eclipse feels like eating a Carolina Reaper. And then out of nowhere, Sean Evans comes in to pour the entire Hot Ones hot sauce lineup onto your pepper and then forces it down your esophagus as he's listing things about your personal life that you forgot 15 years ago. When I'm playing Eclipse, I think roughly 10% of my time is spent on hardcore PvE, while the other 90% of my time I watch my friends clear the level for me. In the scarce moments we do share the stage, they keep bitching at me for not opening chests fast enough. But if I had $1 for every time they opened one right before my eyes, I would actually be able to afford them. Risk of Rain 2 as a whole is like operating the United States of America. Dealing with enemies you initially provoked is your biggest national expense, as well as your main source of income. The good news is that the world is absolutely jam-packed full with these resources. The bad news, however, is that the resources fight back. In order to deal with this situation, we have a wide selection of interstellar professionals and galactic lunatics at our disposal, all of which are, of course, licensed, legal, and very much human. The characters are called survivors, which is a name that I do not honor very much. There are 16 survivors in total, and they're all so wildly different from each other that it would be no understatement to say that you have 16 totally unique ways to play an already fully randomized game. To give you some examples, Commando is an agile all-rounder who dual wields fast shooting pistols and can dash into any direction, a concept that Overwatch would shamelessly steal just 1038 days prior to the release of this game. Artificer can float for basically an unlimited amount of time in the sky. She can drop fireballs, nano nukes, and ice walls on her opponents while she gets one shot by a golem. The loader has a bunch of... The captain is an old fart who needs 30 business days to proc his abilities, but when he does, especially in a 4-man party, he controls the entire momentum of the game. An enemy that doesn't move is an enemy that doesn't live. Void Fiend is the... We have Railgunner, who is my personal favorite. She has minimal CC, no AoE damage, very limited maneuverability, her primary skill is unreliable, she's squishy, she's practically dead without any movement speed or jump boost items, and she can one-shot every enemy in the game. Let me put it like this. I've had many challenging runs playing Railgunner. For example, the Seekers of the Void DLC campaign. The stages fucking suck. Horrible, hard, almost impossible. But the boss fight, I have no idea. But way before I get to the point of being able to one-tap every enemy in the game, I have to turn the locals into currency and look for the items I need. In random locations on every map, you will find chests of different sizes, shapes and colors, all of which are for sale at a reasonable price related to their content and the current inflation rate. But some of them are actually free. They're called void cradles, and all they ask is for half of your HP.
Oh, give me the recipe, give it to me, give it. Yes, here's a silverfish, yes. I'm gonna bite that fucking golem.
Items are the lifeline of your character, so you have to be conscious about the way that you manage your build. If you find good items, well then, good. However, if you find bad items, then bad. Run over. Restart. Come on, man. Quit the menu. I'm kidding. You can use scrappers to grind down items you have no use for and then insert the scrapped items into printers that provide the best items for your character. Printers prioritize taking your scrap over other items, guaranteeing you a clean trade. If you can't find a scrapper, you will have to risk trading items you do not want to trade for the item in the printer, or say you scrapped a lot, but all the printers are straight ass, then that is just a major L. Sorry, can't make it any prettier than it is. Enjoy your 15 elusive antlers or 15 pieces of scrap playing commando. Better luck next time. In Drizzle, you can get away with grabbing every item you can and just making sure you play your character well, but if you were to try this on Monsoon, you will be going home with heavy socks. If you can't refine your slop into success, you will never make it to the top.
Turn all your items into Runald's beds.
And hey, sometimes you're just unlucky, but knowing which items work for your character already makes a huge difference. I promise you, once you get this down, you won't have to die on stage 3 anymore, because you will get humbled in stage 4 instead. While we're on the topic of purchasable things, legend has it that the game has drones lying around on every map that you can buy and have accompany you for the rest of your run. I recall my friend saying something about this as well, but if me no see, me no believe. The captain does not have a passive ability. I'm already getting laughed at enough for not finding my rusty lockbox on every stage that isn't Rally Point Delta, so I've removed their existence from my brain entirely. You can roast me in the comments. Anyway, in order to strengthen my connection to this world, I felt obligated to devote some of my time and energy to the local culture and religions. So, in my pursuit of clarity, I prayed at every shrine I came across. There was a shrine that healed me. A shrine that made my life very hard right after. A shrine that made my life very hard a little later. A shrine that tried to kill me with the money it just took from me. There was even a shrine that granted me an extra life. And now I will not live past my country's retirement age. But one shrine changed me forever. I just kept coming back, no matter how much the shrine asked of me. If it had a price, I was sure to purchase. Sometimes I got nothing. In fact, usually I got nothing. My friends keep telling me to go to rehab, and they keep telling me that I should prioritize the mission and the safety of the crew over the insecurity of an alien gambling totem. But you know what? 94.82% of gamblers facts quit before they make $1 trillion, and I'm on the small end of that pie. Sometimes I pay $17 for a legendary and die 1 minute later. Other times I pay $4,000 to get nothing and live to die by the hand of God himself. It is what it is. Rain will come regardless of risk, but without risk, rain is all you will ever get. Speaking of environments, thanks to the hard work of Providence's Socialist Party, we can travel across all environments with ease. The GPS on these teleporters is far from reliable, so you do not always end up where you want to be, but through the use of the bazaar, you can turn the tides in your favor. After you've paid to get in, you get to pick between 2 options to determine your next stage, only at the cost of 3 times what you paid for the entrance fee. But I digress, we were talking about environments. I don't want to explain how I feel about every map or environment in detail, and I'm sure that's not what you're here for either. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Pause this and debate me in the comments. Anyway, what makes this game truly special to me is the lore. Every single thing in this game has a bit of story. Every item, every survivor, every environment, every monster, everything except purchasable drones because they do not exist. You can ignore the lore entirely and it will not impact the gameplay. But if you do read on the lore, this fast-paced shoot-and-run game turns into something much greater. The logbooks explain the story behind everything we see, as told through mostly the eyes of the exploration team that made the discoveries. The deeper understanding I gained from reading the lore warped my entire perception of the game. Before lore me would excessively celebrate the finding of bands due to their incredible damage boost. Current me pauses the game for a moment to provide a quick prayer. Then, as I continue playing, I struggle to hit my skill shots through my vision, blurred by tears. Before lore me would press my mouse button extra hard when shooting blind pests, in order to make sure they feel my seeping hatred through my ammunition. Current me agrees. Before lore me would walk around commencement thinking, machine guns? That's different. That's really current me would love to process the severity of this situation and the divide it shows, but I'm too busy dodging 300,000 rounds per second. I would love to actively feel for certain creatures and even avoid killing some of them because of my enlightened state, but in a game where standing still for 1 second can be the difference between life and the YouTube homepage, I have to make choices. There are a few monsters that are particularly to blame, and I don't want to name any names, but I do wish to review identity. So, again, I can't be bothered to talk about all of them. Fight me in the comments. Overall, I would say that Risk of Rain 2 is an absolute heater of a game. The amount of times I went to gather a clip for this video to just grab one thing, grab one scenario, and then leave right away, and failed, is crazy. Once I start a run and get 2 or 3 good items, I want to finish it. And I don't care if it takes 2 hours. This shit is so much fun. I can't even... This is me being real. Play this game. It's fun. And with that being said, it is about time I end this video. But first, hey, I would love to announce to you that I set up a Patreon. You can choose to donate between these 5 membership tiers. They're all paid monthly and you will not get any benefits or perks whatsoever from any of these tiers. The reason being is that I don't want to paywall my content. I think everyone deserves to enjoy all my content equally, regardless of the amount you decide to donate or if you decide to donate at all. I think it should be accessible to everyone. Therefore, it is a pure donation to me and my craft. I would have also preferred to do a pay-per-video kind of thing, but apparently, since Patreon is beefing with Apple about App Store monthly purchases, this is not a feature anymore, which I think is ridiculous, but maybe there's a way around this. If somebody could help me with this, that would be much appreciated, because my ass does not upload every month. I feel weird charging you monthly, but it is what it is. Most importantly, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all the continued support and kind comments. It means the world, it really does. And as of right now, I'm already busy working on my next case study. Bye bye.
Feel better, motherfucker.
Penny to the face, lock and loaded. Nigga, should've said you ain't tryna sugarcoat it. Waking up mad, I ain't got no motive. Sometimes I be waking up sad, so I'm writing poems. My nigga Ian hooked me on the jazz. Now I'm out here spreading knowledge on a bitch, knowing this ain't gon' last. And I'm drunk, that's why I'm better with the cap. Alright, let's not fuck up the vibe. Whiskey spilling on the carpet. I like it when a party starting this way. Probably had too much, I'm intoxicated. It'll all be great, it'll all be great. She gon' walk this way. Listen to some Sade Marvin Gaye. Probably had too much, I'm intoxicated. I ain't walking straight, you be talking shit about me. Talking about how you niggas all the same, and we all the same. But you still with me, girl. Could be anywhere in the world. Hear me calling for you, and I'm falling on you. Henny to the face,